Oh, Lucifans! How much do you really know about this devilishly delightful series? Test your knowledge about all things Lucifer in the latest OSSA Movies quiz. Let's start off right at the beginning. No, not the book of Genesis, but the very first episode of the series. When we meet Lucifer and Maze for the first time, how long have they been on Earth for? Was it A, 1 year, B, 5 years, C, 10 years, D, 15 years? The correct answer is 5 years. It doesn't sound like an awfully long time, but it's certainly enough to cause more than a little trouble, right?
I followed him through the gates of hell. I'll take that as a yes.
Keeping in line with the revelations of the first episode, do you remember what's the name of Lucifer's nightclub? Is it A, Eden, B, Purgatory, C, Lux, D, Heaven Down Under? The right answer is C, though imagine if it had been called the real Eden. Now that would be both cheeky and perfect at the same time. Okay, next question. Lucifer's partner in crime is undoubtedly Maze, but do you know what Maze is short for? Is it A, Mazikeen, B, Maslow, C, Mazifer, D, Mazelium? The answer is A. Interestingly enough, there could be a hidden connection between her name and a certain Hebrew term, mazikin, which is used to describe the invisible demons that people may encounter in their daily lives. Sounds accurate. And speaking of Maze, do you remember what human surname she adopts on the show? Is it A, Gabriel, B, Johnson, C, Terry, D, Smith? Yep, it's Smith, one of the most common surnames in the United States. Ready for the next question? Cool, let's go! In Season 4, a demon wants to kidnap Charlie to raise him as the new king of hell. Do you remember what the demon's name was? No clues this time, so you'll have to think on your feet here. It was Dromos, as portrayed by actor Graham McTavish, whom you might recognize from The Hobbit and Outlander. Now, everyone knows Dan as Chloe's ex on the show, but we also met one of her former flames who also happened to be a DJ. What was his name? Was it A, DJ Bobby, B, DJ Charlie, C, DJ Carnal, D, DJ Tiesto? Come on, the name DJ Carnal should give it away here. In a show that's all about giving into desires, obsessions, and the flesh, it's pretty evident what this misspelling of carnal implies. Now let's get stuck into some questions about the man himself, Lucifer. Lucy is extremely proud of his car, but do you know what make it is? It's okay if you don't know the exact model, just the manufacturer's name. Is it A, a BMW, B, a Bentley, C, a Mustang, D, a Chevrolet? Lucifer drives a 1962 C1 Corvette, which was made by Chevrolet. And who wouldn't want to go for a spin in one of those? And speaking of Lucy's car, do you remember what his license plate reads? Is it A, Fallen 1, B, Fall 1N1, C, Fallen 01, D, Fall 3N1? Yeah, we made this one intentionally trickier, but the answer is B, so give yourself an extra point if you got that right. Now here's one for the true Lucifans. The pilot for Lucifer featured actor Nicholas Gonzalez in an important role. Which character was he originally cast as? Was it A, Lucifer, B, Amenadiel, C, Dan, D, Maze? Bingo! Nicholas Gonzalez was actually the original Dan before being replaced by Kevin Alejandro. No reason has been given as to why Nick was recast for the role though, but let's not run away from Dan just yet. On the show, Lucy and Dan have quite an interesting, if not tumultuous, relationship, and there's one specific nickname that Lucifer blesses him with. What is it?
And I realize you're just in a projective state. Because you're feeling vulnerable right now, and that's pretty damn scary.
Detective Douche.
Yep, it's Detective Douche. We'd like to say that Lucy is just playing around here, but he probably isn't. Now let's play 2 quick-fire rounds of true or false. Chloe's daughter's real name is Trixie. True or false? Actually, this is false.
My name's Beatrice, but everybody calls me Trixie.
That's a hooker's name.
What's a hooker?
Next question. Tom Ellis's father is a pastor in real life. True or false? It's true. Tom revealed this interesting fact in an interview, but also added that his father is incredibly supportive of him, even if he is playing the devil himself. Aww. Over the decades, humans have given the devil various names, but which one is he most fond of according to Lucifer? Is it A. Satan, B. Old Scratch, C. Evil Incarnate, D. Samael? Turns out that it's B. Old Scratch. Well, it kinda does have a nice ring to it, don't you think? Well, here's a fun but slightly difficult question. D.B. Woodside, who plays Amenadiel, and Rachael Harris, who plays Linda, previously appeared in another show together. Do you remember which series it was? Was it A. Arrow, B. Scandal, C. Suits, D. How to Get Away with Murder? The answer is Suits. Both actors appeared in the legal dramedy and had quite sizable roles in it as well.
I'm sorry, but that made me lose my acting boner. Sorry.
On to the second to last question. Lucifer possesses many memorable quotes, but can you complete this iconic line? Desire shouldn't be contained. A. It's dangerous. B. It might lead you into temptation. C. It's awful. D. It's unnatural.
Desire shouldn't be contained, it's unnatural. Your husband recognized that.
Always trust Lucy to say it as it is. And now it's time for the final question. So let's end off the quiz on a high note here. Lucifer is a character created for the Sandman comic book series. But out of the below names, one of them is not a co-creator. Who's the odd one out? Is it A. Neil Gaiman, B. Sam Keith, C. Greg Berlanti, D. Mike Dringenberg? Greg Berlanti might be the brains behind many successful shows, but the TV mogul had nothing to do with Lucifer. So, how many answers did you get right without having to Google them? Let us know in the comments section down below. And while you're at it, don't forget to check out some of our other fantastic and fun quizzes. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome.